Welcome to the night club. Today we're doing Chapter 7's review. So, now listen.
Pay attention.
Make sure you show your work. Some of them don't have any work to show. You're welcome. I will. General rule, just write everything I write down and you're good.
General?
General rule. All right, here we go. Degree. Degree is what referring to what? Exponents. If the term has more than one variable, you do what with the exponents? Add them up. So what's the degree of number 1 here? 11. How about number 2? 9. And if there's no variable, it is 0. Any questions on 1, 2, and 3?
No, sir.
Okay? That was on your mid-test. Okay? I'll let you know when the new stuff starts. 4 and 5, we are adding.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Okay? Find the sum.
Write down the word, Ethan. Show me.
Y'all listen. Okay? Add like terms. 3g plus 5g, or 3g squared plus 5g squared is
15 squared. What?
G squared, we're finding the sum. We're adding, not multiplying. Okay? 4g minus 3g is positive g. Don't forget your minus 8. Any questions on that?
Y'all need to calm down over
Same thing here. Number 5, negative 4p squared and negative 6p squared. Make
there. This is
negative
literally what we've done in maintenance class.
10p squared. Negative 9p and positive 7p. Negative 2p.
Y'all want to know why I love Coach? Because he doesn't give us much homework.
15 and negative 5 is positive 10. Okay?
Yeah, but like it's not like 300 questions.
Any questions?
Or, yeah, questions. No, sir. You're
6
doing
and
great.
7.
You're
We're
doing
finding the what? Difference, which means we subtract. So, do I actually subtract?
No, you just switch the sign.
I change the sign and change all the signs in the parentheses behind it. Okay? And now I'm right back to doing it like I did 4 and 5. Okay?
Okay, so 9.
So we have 3x squared and a negative 5x squared. You always start with the biggest exponents first. Okay? What will that be?
Negative 7.
8.
Negative 2
I'm looking at the wrong
x
problem.
squared. 3 minus 5. Okay, is negative 2x squared.
I thought I just got that.
Wait, hang on.
Okay?
Hold up.
Wait a minute.
Oh, I see.
You good? We got negative 9x and positive 5x. Make negative 4x. And then we have positive 11 and positive 5 make positive 16.
Coach, beautiful job.
Thank you. Everybody good on 6?
Okay, what is the calculator thing by the red button?
Sorry?
Red thing up there.
That
Yeah.
just means if I can change this to a multiple choice question if I wanted to.
Do that.
Yeah, do that.
I'm not going to do that.
Is it more difficult or something?
It's easier.
We'll change
Your
it.
exam will be multiple choice.
Yay!
Really?
How many questions is there?
Coach, I love you to death. 50.
About 16 or 17 problems per chapter.
Okay.
So
That's not too bad.
16 or 17 from chapter 5, 16 or 17 from
What?
chapter 6,
How many
and
questions?
16 or 17 from
What
chapter
about
7.
Brady?
Okay?
What about me? I wasn't here for 5 weeks.
And then
You won't have to take it.
You're just gonna fail.
let's get caught up.
So, Coach,
You just missed chapter 5.
It's okay.
So,
I wasn't here.
It's systems and equations. I can catch you up. No big deal.
Coach,
Right?
So how many, like, are you gonna give us like 3 papers of studies to do?
I'll give you an exam review, an exam practice exam, and
How
then
many
we'll
questions are gonna be there? Because this thing is like at least 200 each.
50.
So 50 questions? Okay,
Just like
Michael
it
gave
was.
us like 50,
All right.
at least 200
Number
questions.
7. What we do here, change this to a what?
Hey.
Plus, plus, minus, plus. Okay?
Wait, what about the first one too?
The what?
Those three up there.
These first ones, you don't mess with them.
Okay.
Only what's after the negatives. Okay? Alright. So, you have negative 7t to the 4th. Are there any other t to the 4th? There are no other things to add that to. Are there any t to the 3rds? No, so we get to skip that one. Negative 7t squared and positive t squared. What will that be? Positive 3t squared. T minus 10t. Negative 9t. And plus 2. Okay? Everybody good so far? So we all know degrees, we all know adding, we all know subtracting. Now we're going to get to what? Multiply. Find the product. Okay? So, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is where you start to show a little work. Okay? Did everybody hear what I just said?
Nope.
I expect to see some work here. Not a lot of work, but more than just the answer. Okay? Again, I give you the answers. The answers are stable to it. Okay? I know you got the answers. I want to know how you're getting it. All right? So here, 7m times 7m is 49m squared. Again, if you want to do these with the boxes, the squares, you can. Everybody hear me?
Yes,
You do
sir.
not have to do it the way I do it. All right? If you want to make the little multiplying boxes, do that. I know a lot of you did, and you did very well with it. Okay? However you want to do it that makes it right for you. Okay? I'm doing FOIL. 7m times negative 2 is negative 14m.
Beautiful.
1 times 7m is positive 7m. And 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. Now, that's my answer unless I can simplify it. Can I simplify it?
Yes.
Yes. So, right here in the middle, we'll have 49m squared. Negative 14m plus 7m is negative 7m, and then minus 2.
Good job, buddy.
Okay? So this would be the work I would be looking for. Okay? Here we go. 4c times 6c is 24c squared. 4c times negative 4 is negative 16c. Negative 5 times 6c is negative 30c. And negative 5 times negative 4 is positive 20. And then we add like terms if possible. Is it possible? Yes. So, 24c squared, negative 16 and negative 30 make negative 46c, and then put your plus 20. Okay? Same process, it's just a little longer here because it's a trinomial. Okay? So x times x squared is x to the third. X times x is x squared. X times 2. That takes care of distributing the x. Now I have to distribute the what? The negative 4. Negative 4 times x squared is negative 4x squared. Negative 4 times x is negative 4x. And negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. And then again, add your like terms. Are there any other x cubes? There are not. It's just x cubed. But I've got an x squared and a negative 4x squared. That makes negative 3x squared. I have a 2x and a negative 4x make negative 2x. And then I have minus 8 on the end. Okay? What does 1 minus 3f squared mean? Write it down twice. Okay? And then work it out. So that's going to be 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times negative 3f is negative 3f. Negative 3f times 1 is negative 3f. Negative 3f times negative 3f is positive 9f squared. Okay?
Beautiful, Coach. I love it.
Landon, y'all quit, please. All right. What needs to come first?
9f squared.
So 9f squared. Negative 3f and negative 3f make negative 6f. And then plus 1. Okay? Everybody good? 12. You don't have any work to show on 12. You do work it, but there's no work to show. Because, why is there not going to be much work to show? They are exactly the same with what? Different signs. Okay? So the terms in the middle are going to do what? They're going to cancel. So you don't even have to multiply it out. Okay? You can just do the first terms and the last terms. Okay? So what is 5x times 5x? 25x squared. Negative 4y and positive 4y make negative 16y squared. Okay? And you're done.
Coach, Ethan moved by me, and now I'm going to be distracted.
He won't distract you. He's just trying to get where he's Any questions? I'll hit pause real quick so y'all can copy it. 13, 14, 15, and then it continues over on the back, 16 and 17, I believe.
Beautiful.
It says solve the equation. Okay? The first three, I gave you the easy ones. Okay? In order to make this 0, one of these three has to be what? 0. We just got to figure out what z's would I plug in to make them 0. Okay? So on this first one, what would z need to equal? 0. On the second one right here, not positive 5. If I plug in positive 5, I'm going to get negative 5 minus 5. That's what I just plugged in.
Oh.
So it needs to be what? Negative 5, because I want a negative 5 would make a what? Positive 5. Does everybody see that? Okay. So this one's going to be negative 5. And then what about z minus 9? What would z need to be? Positive 9. Okay. How about 14? What's this t got to be? 0. Or this one can be what? Negative 5. And the last one on this page, s, this s would be what? 5. And this s would be very, very simple. Okay? Any questions on
Does
those?
this require any work at all?
Not those three, no.
Okay. You just need to point us,
Okay?
point me out to what needs work.
Now, the next two do require a little work. Okay?
Is that so, Coach?
This is where the new stuff starts. Okay? So,
all that was old stuff?
all that was old stuff.
All
right.
Wonderful to know.
15, 14, and 13, the equations were already factored. 16 and 17, are they factored?
No, sir.
No, so we need to factor them first and then do what we just did. Okay? So, what do we always look for first when we're factoring? Greatest common factor. Please put it up. Okay? What is the greatest common factor here? 5k. So I'm going to change this to 5k. This is 16. And I'll pull that out front, okay? And what do I do with the 5K that I pull out front? I come back over here and I divide these by 5K. And that's what's going to go in my parentheses, okay? So 5 and 5 cancel. What is K to the third over K? K squared. Okay? The K's cancel. What is negative 180 divided by 5?
Negative 36.
Negative 36. Can I factor that more? K squared minus 36. Those are both perfect what? They're both perfect squares, and I'm subtracting them. So I can factor it just a little more. It's going to be K plus 6 times K what? Minus 6 equals 0. Now it looks like 13, 14, and 15. And so now you figure out what is K. This K right here, what's it going to be?
Negative K.
Nope. 0. 5 times 0 would be 0. This one, K plus 6. K would equal what? Negative 6. And K minus 6. K would be positive 6. Okay?
Beautiful.
Everybody good there? 17. What can we factor out? 3. K.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay.
K to the third, K squared, and K. So what's the smallest variable? K. So take out 3K. If you divide all of them by 3K, what's left? 3's cancel. So you're left with what? K what? K squared. K to the third over K is K squared, not K to the third, sorry. All right. Negative 42 K squared divided by 3K.
Negative 14.
Negative 14.
Yeah.
And that would just be K. K squared over K is K, right? On the last one, the K's cancel. What is 135 divided by 3?
45.
45. So plus 45 equals 0. Can I factor that further? Are there two numbers? You got to play the game. Are there two numbers that multiply to be 45 and add up to be negative 14? Negative 5 and negative 9. So we're going to have 3K and K minus 5 and K minus 9 equals 0. Now it looks like 13, 14, and 15, and now we can figure out what K is. So again, this K would be what? 0. This one's going to be 5. And this one's going to be 9. And there's our 3 answers. Okay? Any questions? Everybody good? All right. Starting at 18, and I believe it's through the rest of the problems, right? Okay. All you are doing is what? Factoring. You're not solving. So you don't have to set it equal to 0. You're just factoring. You're just doing this part. Okay, the part on the left. So for the rest of the review, all we are doing is factoring. Some of the factoring's easy. Some of it's a little long. Okay? Every time, though, what are we looking for first? Greatest common factor first, every time. So 48 and 32, what's the greatest common factor? 8. Is that right? Will 16 go into 48?
3 times.
3 times?
3 times.
Okay, so we need to go a little more. 16. Okay? 8, I want y'all to understand, 8 is a factor. It's just not the greatest factor. Everybody follow me? Okay? So 16, what about y to the 4th and y squared? It'd be y squared. So that's my greatest common factor. I'm going to factor that out by dividing my polynomial by 16y squared. What's 48 divided by 16? 3.
Y squared.
And then y to the 4th over y squared is y squared. 32 over 16 is 2, and the y squared is canceled.
Is that literally all you do, Coach?
For that one, yes.
Literally.
Because can I keep factoring 3y squared plus 2?
No, sir.
I cannot. I'm done there.
Beautiful.
Everybody good?
Yes, sir.
19 and 20 and 21, those are just the simple ones where you're playing the game.
Beautiful.
Okay? They're already trinomials. We just got to make them into binomials times each other. So what two numbers multiply to be 32, add up to be 12? 8 and 4. So z plus 8, z plus 4. Does it matter what order you write them? No, because again, you're multiplying. It does not matter what order you multiply. All right? Play the game again. X times something, X times something. What would be multiplying to be 72 and adding up to be negative 17? Negative 9, negative 8. Okay? And that's it. Again, play the game real quick to check it. Negative 9 times negative 8, is that positive 72? Yes. Negative 9 plus negative 8, is that negative 17? Yes. Okay? Last one is the kind of easy one. We got x and x, two numbers that multiply to be negative 15, add up to be negative 2. You said what? Negative 5 and positive 3. Okay? Any questions on those first four? First four are pretty simple. Everybody good?
Is it supposed to be raining today?
I thought it was done, but sounds like
Wow,
it's
great.
done. Sure does.
I feel bad for Dustin.
Sure does. Says rain coming. Right there. Rain, 80 degrees, rain's coming. Everybody good?
It's soothing, but it's
All right, I'm going to erase this to give me a little more room. Because starting at 22, we got a little work to show. Okay? So 22. Let me blow this up a little bit. Maybe.
You can't do it, Coach.
I can't. You're right.
You cannot do it.
I can't do it. Oh well. You'll just have to deal with it. All right. I didn't mean to.
It's 22 that you're supposed to highlight.
22.
6 is the
All right.
greatest common factor.
Is there a greatest common factor on 22?
Yes, 6.
Yes. She said 6. Anything else besides 6?
Yes.
6 is
No.
No, because do they all have a V? They do not all have a V. So it's just 6. Okay? When I divide everything by 6, I'll get V squared. 54 divided by 6 is 9V. And negative 216 divided by 6. What is that? Because I don't know.
36.
36?
Negative. Hold on, wait. I didn't put the negative. It's negative 36. For some reason,
Okay. Is it possible to keep going? Is there two numbers that multiply to be negative 36 and add up to be negative 9?
Oh,
Nobody is scratching.
4.
4 times what?
9 equals 36.
4 times 9 does equal 36. We need it to equal negative 36 though. So one of them is going to have to be negative. Okay, so you have negative 4 and positive 9. What do they add up to?
It'd just be 4 because there isn't a positive. There's a negative 9.
But they have to add up to be negative 9. That's what I'm saying. We need two numbers that multiply to be negative 36 and add up to be negative 9. There are two numbers that do it. So what do y'all think? 9 and 4 don't work because they don't add up to be 9. But there are two numbers that will multiply and give you negative 36 and add up to negative 9. Start with 2. or 1, negative 36, right? You got negative 1 and 36. What does that add up to?
Negative 30.
That's 35. That ain't right. Okay? Negative 2 and 18. What's negative 32 and 18? That's 36, right? But that adds up to what? That adds up to 16. How about negative 3 and 9? Or 12, excuse me. That adds up to what? 9. So we got 9, but we need it to be what? Negative 9. So no big deal. I just changed the what of these two numbers. Just change their signs. So it'll be positive 3, negative 12. Everybody good? Okay. 23. Is there a common factor on 23? 2, 15, and 7. Any common factors? Will 2 go in any of those? No. So what do we do when you can't take anything out? We borrow. Okay? How do you borrow? You take your 2, Layton, please stop, and you multiply it by your last number. That will become x squared minus 15x plus 14. And now you factor it like we have been. What two numbers multiply to be 14 and add up to negative 15? That one's a pretty easy one. 1 and 14, but we need them both to be negative. Okay? Now the part about borrowing, you got to put it back. So we borrowed it by multiplying. We're going to put it back by dividing. And then you simplify. Can you simplify 1/2? Can 1/2 be simplified? Nope. It's as simple as it gets. So we do bottoms up because the directions said to factor, right? If it said solve, we'd leave it like that. But it says factor, so we got to move this 2 where? In front of the x. So we're going to have 2x minus 1 times 14 over 2. Does that reduce? What's it reduce to? 7. X minus 7. There we go.
I feel bad for my dogs.
I feel bad for Dusty's house.
Oh yeah, because Destiny gets flooded in.
Who's Destiny?
Spencer.
24 and 25. Both of them are quick ones.
Where's
Okay.
Destiny live?
Talk about it later. I know they're quick ones because everything up here are perfect what? Squares, and I'm subtracting them. Okay? So if you have perfect squares and you're subtracting, you're just going to take the square root of each of them. So what's the square root of 64? Square root of 64. Stick it in your calculator if you need to.
32. 32?
8. You're not dividing it by 2. You're taking the square root
I
of
did
it.
that in my head.
Okay? All right. So 8 and 8. What's the square root of m squared? Yeah, you do. Square root of m squared. What does the square root do to the square? It cancels it. And so you're just left with m. Now, which one of those was negative? The 64 or the m squared? The m. So that's the one you put plus and minus. And that's all there is to that one. Okay? Same thing on the next one. 36 and 25x squared are all perfect squares. So what's the square root of 36? 6. But since it's the negative one, we're going to put what? Positive 6 and negative 6. All right? And then the square root of 25x squared is just positive what? 5x. Okay? Everybody good on 25? 26, we're back to some that's kind of easy. This one is special though because of how they want you to write your answer. Okay? What two numbers multiply to be 81 and add up to negative 18?
21.
Multiply to be 81 and add up to negative 18. Negative 9 and negative 9. Do they want you to leave your answer like that? No. If you get the same thing, they want you to write it as h minus 9 what?
2.
Squared.
Sorry.
Okay? Quit saying 2.
Alex, you got after me.
Good
Good job, Katrina. Good job,
All right.
Katrina.
Terrible job, Katrina.
Everybody good on these 5?
Bad habit.
22, 23, 24, 25, and 26. Everybody good?
Yep.
All right. Last 4. I'm going to erase so I can move it down and have some room here. All right. 27 is your one. What did we learned this yesterday? What was it called? Do y'all remember?
No. Special number?
It's when you get in and I let you work in what yesterday?
Groups.
Groups. Okay. So this is grouping. That's why I let you work in groups. Y'all nobody caught it, but whatever.
So you're gonna let us do that on the test?
No.
For that part only though?
No.
No.
Why?
So
Put them in order.
you only have one grouping problem. Okay. So it's in order. All right. It is in order. So we're going to group these two and those two. All right. So let me color coordinate it here. Let's change this one to red.
No. Why?
Okay. So the blue group. What is the common factor in the blue? X squared plus 5xy. What do they both have? X. So I'm going to take out x. Okay. Divide both of these by x. What's left?
X and then 5y.
X plus 5y. Everybody follow that. Okay. This one, the x's cancel. You're left with 5y. This one, x squared over x is x. For the red part, what do they have in common? 5. Okay. So I'm going to put plus 5. And in parentheses, we'll have the 5's will cancel, x. Plus, what's 25y over 5? It is 5y. Okay? For my final answer, what do they have in common? X plus 5y. I can move it where? To the front. So x plus 5y times, whenever you move it, you divide by whatever you move out front, right? What happens to these x plus 5y and this x plus 5y? They cancel, you're left with what? X. It goes here. This one cancels and you're left with plus 5. And you're finished with 27. Okay? $28. I don't really have room, so I'm just going to rewrite it here. Everybody ready? Is there a common factor on 28? 4z to the 5th.
Oh God.
All right. Divide both of those by 4z to the 5th. On the first one, the 4's cancel. Z to the 7th over z to the 5th is z squared. Negative 100 divided by 4. And the z to the 5th cancel. Can I continue to factor that?
Yeah.
I have two perfect squares, right? So my final step, I'll have 4z to the 5th. Z, what's the square root of 25?
5.
So and I put, since it's negative, positive 5 and negative 5. Okay? 29. Y squared minus 3y minus 8.
Is today Wednesday,
So
Coach?
there are two numbers that multiply to be negative 8 and add up to negative 3. There's not. Just to prove it to you. You got negative 8 and 1 would be negative 7. Okay? You got positive 8 and negative 1 would be positive 7. You got 4 and negative 2 would be 2. And you got negative 4 and positive 2 would be negative 2. That's the only options. None of them add up to what? Negative 3. So what do you put if you can't do it? What are you trying to do to it? What's the directions say? Factor. So if you can't factor, that is called unfactorable.
Wait.
Okay?
That's the answer? Woo!
Unfactorable for 29. There will be one on your test that is unfactorable. Okay?
Ow, twice.
Everybody good? All right, last one. 30. Do they have anything in common?
Yeah, let's go.
2x. 2x comes out front. I divide everything by 2x.
This book has been going through a while.
All right,
Probably
the
right.
2's cancel. X to the third over x is what?
X squared.
X squared goes in the parentheses. 2's cancel again. What's negative x squared over x? What kind of negative x? There you go. And then negative, the x's cancel here. What's negative 112 divided by 2?
Negative 56.
Negative 56. Then you ask yourself, can you factor that? You can. 2x, what two numbers multiply to be negative 56 and add up to negative 1?
7 and 8.
Which one? Negative 8. Excellent. Negative 8, positive 7.
We're done.
I don't have to put it back because did I borrow?
No.
I didn't borrow. I factored it out. Don't get them mixed up. Okay? Hope this video helped you. Have a great time. See you next time.
No. No.
Stay above the line.